Imagine a riverbank at dawn. The mist drifts low over the water, the forest holds its breath, and suddenly, a song rises, too beautiful to be human. You step closer, you hesitate. Then, all at once, silence. What if some voices don't come from us, but from another world, just beside our own? Today, we dive into Turkish and Turkic legends. 5 creatures born of the steppes, the deep forests, and treacherous waters. A siren with fatal charm, a shapeshifter no one can grasp, a vampiric shadow, a one-eyed giant, and a forest spirit whose laughter can kill. 5 myths, 5 doors to the invisible. 1. Susulu, the water siren, Turkey and the Turkic world. In Turkish tales, she is called Susulu, half woman, half fish, heir to the ancient water spirits. She sings by rivers, lakes, and the sea. Her hair, long as seaweed, drifts with the current. Picture it. Evening falls, the light fades. The water stirs without wind. A clear voice rises, breaks, and returns. You glimpse a face, pearly shoulders, then a silver tail vanishing in a burst of foam. Fishermen say her song echoes first in the mind, then in the chest, like a memory that isn't yours. One man, lured by that voice, followed a black inlet. The next morning, his boat was intact, his fishing line still taut, but he was gone. Some explain these stories through sound illusions. Water bends and multiplies echoes. Add fatigue, solitude, and mist, and the mind paints faces on the fog. But then, why have so many men vanished in the same places? What if Susulu doesn't just lure, but chooses her prey? Let's leave the water for the steppes. The next enemy has no face, because it takes whichever face it wants. 2. Uylak, the deceptive shapeshifter, Central Asia, Anatolia. In Turkic folklore, the Uylak is a spirit of chaos, sly, ever-changing master of illusion. He can be man, wolf, horse, even insect. Imagine a night on the plain. A rider approaches. His horse looks stretched. Its hooves sound not like iron, but like dry leaves. By morning, the entire village feels watched, yet no tracks remain. An old woman said a dog waited for her at the door each evening. One stormy night, she let it in. At the first lightning flash, the animal had no shadow. At the next, no muzzle. The door slammed shut by itself. In the ashes, only a mark remained. Fingers too long to be human. For the ancients, the Uylak embodied misfortune, sudden illness, and conflict. Today, we might call it mass fear, hallucination, or mirages. Yet one question lingers. How many times have you thought you recognized someone, only to realize it wasn't them? Sometimes the enemy doesn't trick. It devours. 3. Ubir, the vampiric shadow, Turkic traditions, Tatars. The Ubir is a vampiric being, a spectral woman. She feeds on blood and life itself. They say she returns from the dead, drawn to the living. Picture a damp, silent house. The lamp flickers, light footsteps in the hallway. At the window, a pale face drifts past, with no breath on the glass. Witnesses describe her voice as soft, far too soft. One Tatar village lost several infants within weeks. A woman claimed a drowned soul came back, breathing above their cradles. Iron was placed at the doors, salt under pillows. One night, every flame died at once. In the morning, only scratch marks on the wood. Plagues, sleep paralysis, sudden death. The Ubir gave form to terrors no one could explain. But still, what if at night your window doesn't reflect your face, because another is already watching? After shadows comes brute force. 4. Tepegöz, the Invincible Cyclops, Turkish Oghuz mythology. In the book of Dede Korkut, the Tepegöz appears as a giant Cyclops, one eye, impenetrable skin, monstrous strength, a devourer of men. Picture the steppe swept by wind, Horses panic, campfires die. A rhythm shakes the earth, step after step. Then, a massive shadow rises, a single glowing eye rimmed in black. Arrows shatter, spears glance off. Nothing wounds him. In Ogu's tales, his defeat comes not from strength, but from cunning. He represents the boundary between man and the invincible, between fear and intelligence. But when his single eye falls on you, what does he truly see? One spirit remains. It doesn't strike, bite, or devour. It laughs. 5. Şüräle, the forest spirit. Tatars, Bashkirs. The Şüräle is a woodland spirit, hairy, horned, with endless fingers. He lures travelers into the woods to tickle them to death. Picture a narrow path. The trees close in. A cold hand brushes your neck. Then, laughter. But not true laughter. It crackles, rolls, stretches, and seems to come from inside a hollow tree. A woodcutter swore a horned creature led him in circles all night. Each tree he marked, the mark disappeared. At dawn, he stood only steps from his camp, surrounded by fine finger marks combed into the earth. The Şüräle personifies the forest's disorientation, hypothermia's delirium, the nervous laughter before panic. But what if the forest decided to notice you? Would you still laugh? From Susulu's haunting song to Uylak's thousand faces, from the icy shadow of the Ubir to Tepegöz's thunderous steps and the eerie laughter of the Şüräle. All these legends tell one truth. The visible world is thin. Beneath it, other forces move. Our fears, our desires, our answers when nothing else explains. So tell me, of these 5 creatures, which intrigues you most? And more importantly, which would you never wish to meet when night falls?